Not the only cup skeleton in Liverpool's closet, Laurie Sanchez. Crystal Palace beat them in an FA Cup semi-final here in 1990. Middlesbrough have beaten them in a League Cup semi since, whilst they were a First Division team. And the mention of Bristol City, Peterborough, Watford, Swansea will cause Liverpool fans of different ages to wince. They will be hoping against hope that Wycombe don't add their name to that list, but they're starting on the front foot here with a cross from Brown, comfortably dealt with by Sander Vestergaard. Headed by Cousins. McAllister, Fowler, now Ziege. Ran into Bullman, Harman with a really good pass. Carragher. Liverpool now taking the goal behind which their travelling supporters are encamped. Ziege looking to wind up a long one.
That's a big start again for Wycombe. You know, they're going to start this half the way they started the match. Nothing away. The absolute Scrooges, and don't encourage Liverpool at all.
It's Carragher with the throw in towards Ziege, dealt with by Bates, and as far as Harman is Sammy Hurpia, looking for some width on the opposite side from Marcus Barber. McAllister is on the way outside of it, cleverly played. Barber to McAllister, clear away this time by Simpson, struck on the volley by Harman, still rising.
But that was a movement. I'm surprised Liverpool didn't do that more in the first half. They did it early on in the first half, where they doubled up on Wycombe, same combination, Babel and McAllister almost produced a goal. They've just done it again. There was a lack of doing that throughout the first half.
Well, we all know that television football commentators know nothing at all about football, but Alan Parry, a colleague of mine with Sky Sports, is actually a director of Wycombe Wanderers Football Club.
I would be very interested to hear his comments about that alleged penalty incident, because he does have some sort of a down on referee Donny Hinn.
He's an upstanding soul and an absolute neutral, don't you worry. Liverpool are his boyhood team, actually. Bates. Brown. Brought down by Harman. McCarthy is only one of the three defenders who's gone forward here. Not one of them, Cousins, will take the free kick. It's in towards McCarthy. Turned away as far as Brown. Tackled with by Harman. Hit hopefully by Wycombe. Sanchez actually begins a three-game touchline ban tomorrow, courtesy of his touchline protest in the quarter-final. I think the Wycombe players have heard his raised voice recently. Form hasn't been too good in the league. He didn't hang around for the press conference last Saturday. He feels as if his club have been rather distracted by this occasion, inevitably. They are only 4 points clear of the relegation zone.
I'm just looking at Nick Barmby again, Clive, there. I think he's coming off. He just tried to chase that ball, then he looked in great discomfort. And he's making his way towards the bench. No, he's giving them the nod that they didn't want to come off, but he looked to be having all sorts of problems.
Hasn't had an awful lot of football for Liverpool of late. Just 25 minutes prior to today since the quarter-final at Tranmere for Nick Barmby, but he's having a discussion with the bench and now a shake of the head, and both Steven Gerrard and Danny Murphy have been warming up. In which Marcus Barber will take on that far side.
I'm sure the Liverpool manager wouldn't have to make the move he's doing, but it looks very much as if Gerrard's going to be the replacement.
towards McAllister. Away by Wycombe as far as Ziga. Breaks one challenge for the second. Brown got a foot on it and Cousins brings it away. Psychologically, it might not be a good idea for the Wycombe players to look at the Liverpool bench. It's a little bit awesome in strength. And here's Ryan. They're looking only at the task immediately before them. Carragher with a firm challenge on Rammel. Far unable to control. Liverpool throw.
No, what you do psychologically, Laurie Sanchez will be saying, that's good, lads. We're getting one of their reserves on straight away.
Well, Barnby leads us, and that reserve is none other than Steven Gerrard. He's actually started 7 of the last 8 Liverpool games, and an England international besides. His much publicised fitness problems are not hampering him too much at present.
He had an exceptional game against Man United, didn't he? Operating in that little right-hand spot where I'm sure he's going to operate today.
Gerrard's gone over to the right. His first pass finds Fowler. Now Carragher. Harman. On show. Here is Gerrard. Quickly into the flow of the game. And Fowler has been dispossessed.
Doesn't look overawed with them coming in a game like this.
No handball. Harman. Play behind Fowler and Cousins is there, and now Michael Simpson. Bramwell taking over. This is Bullman. Has Townsend available outside of him. Up towards Ryan. Townsend. Sliced his cross. Ethiopia has to deal with it. McAllister. Well, was a touch late, but McAllister managed to unload, and here goes Marcus Barble. Steven Gerrard. Tucked into Michael Owen. Now Barble with a cross. Fowler's there. Might come here for Christian Ziga. Wouldn't come down for him. Bounced right over head high for Ziga. It's an awkward ball to control.
Yeah, it was ugly the way he bounced with full marks again. I think it's Ben Townsend. Didn't give him a minute's piece to pull the ball down and get a clear shot. Closed down very, very quickly.
Seems to be even more intensity about this second half, even more atmosphere inside Villa Park. Gerrard running into Wycombe. It is a Liverpool throw.
Thinking a funny old way, you know, to give the Liverpool fans, let's see Gary McAllister out of play. In a funny old way to give the Liverpool fans something to half-time thing. They all of a sudden realised that they've got a battle on.
Now look who's here. Roy Isando, who came from the substitutes bench to play his first 16 minutes of FA Cup football at Filbert Street in the quarter-final, and who scored the winning goal in the quarter-final. Headed by Hurpia. Owen. Challenged by McCarthy. Ziga forward to McAllister. Harman managing to resist the attentions of Ryan. He's done well today, Didi Harman. Fakes though for Wycombe. Growing in stature, particularly in the second division team. Oof. Cousins sliding into Owen, and an inevitable yellow card is coming the way of Jason Cousins. He was reaching for the ball, but all he got was Michael Owen. And Des is absolutely right, by the way. The word intentional has been taken out of the laws of the game in the last couple of years. You either get it or you don't, and Cousins didn't get it. Here comes the change. It's Andy Rammel, the 34-year-old leading scorer, who will give way to the man whose agent saw an advertisement on teletext for a forward for injury-hit Wycombe Wanderers. This is the man who answered that advert and who wrote his name in the legend of this cup run. Headed by Cousins. Clearance by Wycombe. Westerveld quickly off the blocks. 45 what Isando does give Wycombe is a little bit more pace up front.
Yeah, that might be very important. Ryan's done quite well when he's had the ball. He's been nice and tidy when he's had possession. But they do need to look as if they need an absolute outlet, and if he's got that much pace, then he'll do well for them.
Bartle. Gerrard. Crossed in towards Owen, but Cousins managed to get his body between Owen and the ball.
They've done particularly well there when the ball's in wide areas, you know, the Wycombe 3 central defenders. They've managed to make sure they've always got bodies in there, and they're always picking up. The marking's been very good.
Headed by Fouquier. Bartle. Gerrard providing a bit more thrust now for Liverpool, just unable to keep the ball in play. Came to him on the half volley and he couldn't quite bring it under his spell.
So I think Liverpool would be better if they had somebody, particularly on the left-hand side, be it Heskey or Berger, somebody could pick it up and carry the ball.
Owen though, on towards Gerrard. Three waiting in the centre for Gerrard's cross, which is hooked behind for a goal kick.
I mean, if you look at them, we know Owen can go off the ball. He's got lightning pace off the ball. Gerrard's got the ability to ghost past people. But I feel somebody that can isolate the right side and defend and get past him and produce balls from this side.
There has been one Premiership match played this afternoon. There's Phil Thompson, Gerard Houlier's assistant, who played in a couple of FA Cup finals for the club himself. Everton 3, Manchester City 1 is a final scoreline from Goodison Park this afternoon. Everton 3, Manchester City 1. Good news for Terry Venables in particular. It keeps Manchester City 4 points adrift of Middlesbrough, who play Sunderland in a Premiership game tomorrow night. Looks like 3 from 4 down there. Carragher to Fowler. Didn't quite run for Owen, but Fowler makes it hit. Owen running into traffic, some fairly hefty challenges. Fowler trying to jab it on. It's Wycombe in possession with Brown. Up towards Isando. Liverpool felt that Owen got some rough treatment there.
I think what they're not doing, Wycombe, they're certainly paying no respect to the Liverpool big names. Every time the ball's around, when it's bouncing, bobbling, I was going to say it's a blue, black and blue shirt diving in on the end of it. I'm not sure that Liverpool get little or no time when they're in the danger zone.
I think Owen and Fowler that belong to a black and blue. McAllister. Seager. Up towards Michael Owen. Awkward angle for him to control the ball and take it in his stride. It was just dropping slightly behind him. McCarthy. Offside. Keith Ryan. Another lovely story from Wycombe's past. Keith Ryan, he came to the club 10 years ago to watch his cousin play a trial match in the reserves and asked whether he could have a trial himself, and they took him on. Testimonial year this year for Keith Ryan, who was a carpet fitter when the club turned professional and admits that he had to take a drop in wages in order to go professional with Wycombe. Emil Heskey is next in line from the Liverpool substitutes bench. Fouquier has done more than anybody to keep Wycombe's feet on the ground, so to speak, this afternoon. Defended well. Gerrard. In slides McCarthy. Rain keeps on coming down in this country, doesn't it? And the park is pretty wet now. Fowler. Ziga. Armand to Carragher. Liverpool trying to keep their poise, trying to remain patient. Cut out though by Danny Bournemouth. Fouquier heads forward again. Seeger into the path of Carragher. Warden, a late challenge that time by Simpson on Seeger, and then by Cousins on Owen, and Cousins is treading a rather fine line now. Crashing challenge. Seeger takes the free kick towards the head of Herpier, but Bates jumped against him, or certainly made it awkward for Herpier to jump. Emil Heskey's ready to come on. He played on the left of midfield in Barcelona on Thursday, and it looks like that's what he's going to play now, because it's Christian Seeger who's going to make way for him. Played wide in midfield for Sven-Göran Eriksson here too, didn't he, against Spain?
Yeah, I think he wants to. Julio will want him to get the ball and pick it up, although it looks as if he's running into the middle of the field. Whether this is just because of the set situation, blocking up, well, it looks as if he's going to play up the middle.
Yeah, he just had a word with Mike Lowen. Maybe he'll drop in behind Heskey and Fowler. It's Brown coming forward for Wycombe. Just tumbled by Harman. Enough to knock him off balance. Less than half an hour to go. Or is there? Maybe extra time, maybe penalties. We'll play to a finish here today. Pace to touch it by Harman. Bates is right in there. Can't be two. Westerveld watching carefully. Cousins in towards Bates, headed down towards Ryan, headed away by McAllister. The Bowman is first to the ball. Danny Bowman crosses too deep. You'd have been in this situation once or twice, Ron, in charge of a big one against a little one, and just wondering where the breakthrough is going to come from.
Yeah, and it's looking less and less. That would be the worry at the moment for Gerard Houllier. I mean, he's tried. He's put two super subs on, if you like, Gerard and Heskey, and they haven't really opened. All right, in the first 2 or 3 minutes at the start of the game, had some anxious moments with him, but they haven't really had that many anxious moments. I know what Laurie Sanchez said about passing the ball. Will this lad stop the desire for the game all of a sudden? Well, not all of a sudden, the whole game. I think it would suit Liverpool, actually, if Wycombe did start to come forward a bit more. Maybe try and encourage a few counter-attacks.
They have played 51 games this season, Liverpool, everybody knows that, but this is Wycombe's 54th. Okay, no international commitments to speak of, no round trips to Rome and Athens and Bucharest, but no squad strength to speak of either, and no less injury problems than anyone else. Wycombe are missing 4 players who would certainly have figured today.
Yeah, but Wycombe don't play that rotation system, do they? They do. They really do. Their rotation system is, shall we have chicken or steak before a match? All hands to the pump. But they've done smashing today. Looking there at Jamie Cousins, his cramp setting in a little bit, and just him stretching his hamstrings a little bit, and it's been the tension, everything else, the pitch now getting wetter and heavier. Defenders, look at him now, he's stretching out. Look, that is just cramp and not a push.
Free kick to Wycombe. What does it matter what you look like on a day like this?
I think it's great for them.
They'll look pretty sad by midnight if Wycombe win. They won't remember much of the match, that's for sure. Cousins with a free kick. In towards Bates, won by Heskey importantly, cleared by Gerrard.
A little bit of attention to detail then from Laurie Sanchez. They made sure that They've got Honchers right out. Sorry, Hurtfield right out from the free kick, so he couldn't take part in it. So defensively, it wouldn't be of much value to him.
Simpson losing out the foul. Now Bates against Owen. It's not really a contest in terms of a race, but Bates had a couple of yards start, just about enough. Gerrard. Header away by McCarthy. Gerrard's been involved in everything since he came on. Well, we know what he's capable of from range. Just a week ago we saw, certainly Fabian Barthez saw.
Yeah, I think then it's going to sit up again. He's going to hit it on the volley. Daisy cutter.
Two teams entered this season, a record number, and now there are 3. Wycombe Wanderers came into the competition 7 weeks before Liverpool in mid-November. They started by beating a Harrow Borough team, including 48-year-old Barry Silkman, in front of a crowd of 2,500, and now, 8 ties later, penalties, penalty saves, comebacks, controversial equalisers, a last-minute winner from a trialist. Here they are, holding their own in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Gerrard has given Liverpool a bit more spark. Heskey will hope to. Barber. Gerrard. Heskey. Turning away from Simpson. Unable to beat Fowler. Townsend got in the challenge, but it's thrown away back to Robbie Fowler. Away by McCarthy this time. Man seizes upon it. McAllister. Liverpool are having to dig deep here. McAllister in towards Heskey. Important header by McCarthy under pressure, hooked away by Cousins. Villa Park is rocking. Fowler.
Yes, the Anfield, or the Liverpool crowd are trying to lift their team the most now. I think they came expecting to see an absolute procession of goals, and now realise that Liverpool have got one hell of a match to go through.
Rick Fowler did get a nudge then from Bowman. Midpoint in the second half. On by Heskey. Skewed by Bates for straight to Vinicum. Barber won't let him pass. Heskey turning on towards Owen. There was a flag.
So the anxiety in Heskey's pass, a well overhead pass, regardless of whether he's on or off.
Probably wasn't offside,
yeah.
But pass was overhit. Terry Gibson and Laurie Sanchez just discussing their next move. Gibson actually won a crucial penalty for Wimbledon in that semi-final of '88. Came from behind to beat Luton at White Hart Lane. And to face a champion Liverpool team at Wembley. Handball. Carragher. Paul McCarthy's gone up to join Pete Ryan, and Jamie Bates is on the way too. Jason Cousins with a free kick. In towards Bates. It was Bates' header which set up that Eastern winner at Leicester. He's been around the block a few times, Jamie Bates. Came to Wycombe a couple of years ago after more than 500 games with Brentford. Did well to win that. Cousins away. Harmer. Liverpool ticking over today, Didi Harmer. He couldn't quite control it.
Very seldom has anyone been able to thread a ball through the heart of the Wycombe defence, though. Every time they've played a ball, there's been a blue shirt on the end of it.
Binnicker. Brown. McCarthy. Isando. Carragher. Hester. Did go out of play. Ball's a bit slippery now, control's difficult.
Still amazed, you know, that Heskey's gonna, he's out on the left-hand side at the moment. I'm still amazed that he's going to play through the middle, though. I thought that would have stretched Wycombe far more if he'd have played as an orthodox left winger.
Liverpool fans putting on brave faces, but these are anxious times for them. Offside against Ryan.
Yeah, before they came, regardless of what happened against Wimbledon and Leicester, this looked an absolute nap, didn't it, for Liverpool? But it's like many games in the cup, it's not turning out that well.
Nassim Ahmed didn't expect to get beaten. 4 finishes in the Grand National. Surprises happen. A few of them. Fowler. Towards Heskey. Pulled into the path of Michael Owen, but Jamie Bates got to it first. Steven Gerrard back into the danger area. Bates shuts the door again.
How many times have you said that today, Clive? A blue shirt blocking things out in the penalty box.
Ryan has found Bowman. Now Simpson. On to Brown. Michael Simpson. Selling Steve Brown short, and here comes Steven Gerrard instead. Gary McAllister, first ever FA Cup semi-final, into the path of Robbie Fowler, who's been all the way to the final with Liverpool. Bates again.
Door shut. They are slamming that door very well at the moment.
And it coax it beyond Carragher for Isando, but Jamie Carragher sends Liverpool surging forward again. McAllister. Arman to Barley. Gerrard. Fowler. Tackled by Bates. They took a leap out of Liverpool's book in the Nou Camp. McAllister in there. Header away by McCarthy. Roles reversed today for the men in red. They're the ones having to try to make the game, make the play, trying to make the breakthrough. Wycombe are the ones defending manfully with discipline and character. Now they're starting to pass it. Brown. Ryan. And out by Holshow.
Just get the impression with Brown, if he got in the last third with the ball outside his left foot, he could well test the Liverpool keeper.
Simpson. Error away by Carragher. Only as far as Ryan, and there's a pot shot. He's really a makeshift forward, Keith Ryan, because of the injury problems of the club. He's, to all intents and purposes, a midfield man by trade. They've had to mix and match as best they can in the absence of three frontline forwards for much of the season through injury. Gerrard, Heskey, McAllister, here goes Gerrard. Carragher, hooked in towards Heskey! Smart stop by Martin Taylor. Hasn't been troubled for a while now, but he propelled himself away to his right, a little wink in the eye. He's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he knew he was going to save that. Good ball in, smart header. But a nice one for Martin Taylor. Just kept his hands warm for a while. He's probably looking forward to a penalty situation. I bet he's thinking that, you know. I bet he's thinking, cool, if I have to score the winner, save the equaliser and score the winner.
Well, Wycombe can't afford to let their thoughts race too far ahead. Liverpool are still coming forward. There are still 15 minutes or so left to play. Here's Michael Owen. Taylor's done exceptionally well again. Just couldn't lift it over the on-rushing goalkeeper. And Martin Taylor makes another heroic save.
This is one of the few balls that's been threaded through the defence. Gets a little deflection. Fortunately for Wycombe, it was on Fowler's left foot. I think if that had been Owen on that, I think he might have stood that over. But once again, keeper who looks to have got hurt, looks as if he's hurt his arm in that. Was brave and decisive.
It is Michael Owen racing through here.
See, that's a nice save for him. He loved that. Good. That's for the cameras. The other one was for the professionals. Good save. Good goalkeeping.
And this is the first corner of the semi-final. Dave Jones, the physiotherapist, just trying to work a little bit of movement and mobility back onto Taylor's arm. It was his right arm that he hurt here, and he just caught Michael Owen's right leg, maybe his boot. He'll soldier on. McAllister takes. Taylor punches, using his one good arm. Gerrard with a cross. It's Heskey! It's been a long, long time in coming, but the Liverpool Cup adventure continues. Emil Heskey gives them the lead. They could be heading back to Cardiff again. Gerrard provided the cross. It's the substitutes.
Quality balling, great quality balling, and for the first time in the game, a Wycombe defender hasn't cleared the header, but he tucks it away nicely. Big, he's strong, he's put it away. Ironically enough, the first corner of the game.
It's only his fourth appearance in the FA Cup this season, Emil Heskey. It's his fifth goal in this Liverpool Cup run. And is that the end of the Wycombe dream?
Well, they've shown bags and bags of character all through the cup run, but none more so than today. But now, Clive, they've got to, if they can, show twice as much as they've shown all season.
Well, they were 2 down in the 5th round against Wimbledon and came back. Murphy is imminent, and Wycombe are going to make a couple of changes too. Steve Brown, meanwhile. The Liverpool fans singing of a return visit to the Cardiff traffic jams. Michael Owen taking on Cousins, who just runs across him, blocked him out. McCarthy helps it back to Taylor.
Yeah, I think if McCarthy hadn't been on station there, I think that Mr. Durkin might have been forced to act on Cousins there.
It's McAllister, held up by Cousins again, no foul. The mascot choirs heard in full voice for the first time this afternoon at Villa Park. Worthington Cup winners, UEFA Cup semi-finalists, and now FA Cup finalists elect. And if Wycombe can stop them somehow in the next 10 minutes, that really would be a story. A lot of attention on Wycombe in the build-up, but those fans have waited a long, long time for this kind of glory to return. Here come the changes. Off comes Ben Townsend to be replaced by Dave Carroll, another survivor from Wycombe Wanderers non-league days. Off comes Steve Brown to be replaced by Guy Whittingham, who played against Liverpool for Portsmouth in an FA Cup semi-final 9 years ago. On comes Michael Owen to be replaced by Danny Murphy. Well, Murphy got a couple in the Worthington Cup semi-final success over Crystal Palace, but it's Emil Heskey's goal, his single goal, his 19th goal of this season for Liverpool, this endless Liverpool season, which separates the teams.
Well, they've gone with a distinct three up front, and Guy Whittingham's just got his first touch of the game.
Again. If he caught by Bates, free kick's been given now. Is there any more punishment heading the way of Jamie Bates? No. There were two covering defenders. Danny Murphy, who's just come on, might fancy this. Well, Tanner kept them out for a long, long time, but I wonder whether there's anything he could have done, whether or not he'd had that injury a moment before Heskey scored. I doubt it.
Don't think so, Clark. I think the header was close in.
Crashing header, yeah. Plenty of options here for Liverpool. Fowler, Harman or Murphy. It's Robbie Fowler. Ah, terrific! The man who lifted the Worthington Cup in Cardiff puts the seal on it for Liverpool. They're heading back to the Millennium Stadium. All those anxious, nervous looks have disappeared. Robbie Fowler will celebrate with anybody who wants to celebrate. A superb free kick.
Yeah, clever goal. Hardly any run up at all. Just walks on and curls it with his left foot. Keeper, no chance. That is as good a free kick as you'll see. Yes.
Gerard Houllier and Phil Thompson celebrate with every Liverpool fan. Robbie Fowler's 8th semi-final goal for Liverpool. He got a couple against Aston Villa in a fabulous performance, personal performance by him at Old Trafford, the last time back in '96. And his record in the FA Cup, 23 appearances, 12 goals, better than one every other time. And that's actually his 49th cup goal for Liverpool. But the statistic that matters is the one on the top left-hand corner of your screen. Wycombe 0, Liverpool 2. We shall not be moved is the anthem now. And how fitting that is. They just will not be shifted off any of their cup trails. A flashing shot from Robbie Fowler.
There's a little bit of negotiating going on just before the free kick. I think it was Carroll was trying to get on the line and Heskey was going in with him and all that. Whether the keeper was a bit distracted, but he would have had no chance with that. That was as good a free kick as we'll see anyway.
Wycombe Wanderers held out for 78 minutes, more than held out. But now 2 goals in 4 minutes from Emil Heskey and Robbie Fowler have put Liverpool on the threshold of a return to the FA Cup final. difficult to be dispassionate about such an emotional game. They've been the better team, no doubt about it. They've had the more chances, no doubt about it. Nobody can deny that they deserve to be in front. But such is the gap, 50-odd places in the league standings, that Wycombe Wanderers entertain for the Romantics the possibility of a cup shot to end all cup shots for so long this afternoon.
You just wonder what Loris Sanchez might have been thinking, though, just prior to the first goal, when his team battle scrapped, competed for everything, and then he sees Heskey and Gerrard coming on.
Gerrard to Fowler. Little back heel for Gerrard. Came off Finicum for Heskey, and now Danny Murphy. Right, a brutal grin on the face of Danny Murphy.
Yeah, he just doesn't get hold of it, does he? But it's come through a rock, and the keeper still don't want to hang on to it.
Yeah, Gerrard, who was actually an offside position, probably unsighted him slightly. No flag against McAllister, well found by Heskey. Liverpool really relaxing and opening up now and playing the football they're capable of. McCarthy hasn't given it up. What guts they've shown. Pullman. Inside Carragher for Isando. Cross comes Kurpia. Wycombe Wanderers throw. Dispossessed by Harman. Taylor long. Whittingham waiting underneath it. Forced through towards Ryan. Oh, they come on back. It's Keith Ryan for Wycombe. They just will not lie down. 3 minutes remaining. It's one of the originals, Keith Ryan, who played non-league football for Wycombe Wanderers, who has given them a chance, just a breath, a glimpse of a chance of rescuing this semi-final.
Big long ball down the middle. Little flick on, and he takes that ever so well. That's the ball off his line, and 3 big long minutes now. When the game looked all cut and dry, and you're thinking, oh, Liverpool going to make it 3 or 4.
A couple of cheers.
You wonder. If it was a league match, Clive, or been a league game, it was all over. But it's the FA Cup.
What a cocktail, what a competition. Fowler, though. Trying to thread it through to McAllister. I wonder. Paul McCarthy. Challenge first by Barber, and then in comes Simpson. Cousins to Carroll.
Listen to the Wycombe crowd.
They've got 4 in there. Carroll scuffs his cross. Comes off Carragher. Whittingham gives chase. Harman's there first. Nowhere else for Harman to go. Oh, and Carroll picked his pocket and been penalised.
I think he's a bit unlucky there. I think Carroll was a bit cute there. I think Harman was buying a bit of time. And he agreed with me. Hey, sheep, whatever. I think he's entitled to do it. Harman's trying to hold, I think it was Guy Whittingham up, and Carroll's got in there. Desperately unlucky there. Come on, Paul, give us a bit of extra in this.
Westerveld takes his time. McAllister to Fowler. Heskey. flag up here against Gary McAllister. Ron, it's difficult to ask you for a man of the match because it isn't quite over, but at this point, who would you give it to?
I give it to the lad with the ball in his hand at the moment, the goalkeeper, because I felt there's been 11 heroes or more. 4 minutes left, Clive. Your favourite time.
Well, you say on our website that Martin Saylor is the man of the match at this moment, but if there's another goal in this game, that might change.
Can we change that?
4 extra minutes. Taylor's free kick. Towards the head of Paul McCarthy. Dave Carroll. Into handball. Forced away by Harman. Gerrard trying to relieve the pressure. Look at how straight he can get to him. Gerrard's running a long, long way out of danger. And now Heskey's free in the box, but up pops Simpson the clear. Pullman. Gerrard's there again for Liverpool. Vinnican calmly back to Martin Taylor. Fowler. McAllister runs into Carroll. Free kick goes Liverpool's way. One minute of stoppage time play. 3 more to come. Murphy. Fowler. Well, they know they've been in a match, that's for sure, whatever the outcome is.
Just looking there at the Liverpool bench, Phil Thompson and Houllier, they were doing their utmost to get everybody back. Similar tactics to what Wycombe employed for the first hour or so.
Liverpool are keeping the ball at the crucial time. They have another throw in here. All the experience that they possess on and off the field, all the know-how, all the years of success that they can draw on. They've got to draw all of it now. Thought he'd seen Wycombe off. Tackled by Carroll. Guy Whittingham bounces over Hurpier. Cross comes Harman. And ball against Heskey. About 90 seconds remaining. He's usually watching on television by now. In by Vinnican. Hurpier's header finds a way back into the safe hands of Songa Vesterveld.
I'm just wondering whether that was nominated there from Big Hurpier. Was it helped him back to the keeper in a moment of really coolness, or whether he's been forced into the error?
The ifs and buts won't matter in a minute's time. All that will matter is the scoreline, and Liverpool have Wycombe just about where they want them. Only just. Can Cousins launch it forward, or will he entrust that to his goalkeeper Taylor? Another towering header from Hurpier, back in though by Bates. McCarthy's up there full time now. Ryan was running in behind. Osho managed to smuggle it clear. Cousins, body check by Fowler. Free kick to Wycombe. This is the last throw of the charmed Wycombe Wanderers dice. Give it a blow, boys. Cousins. It's towards Bates. It's won again by Hurpier. It's cleared by Gerrard. Fowler contesting the ball manfully for Liverpool. Murphy is able to bring it out of harm's way. Playing the last few seconds in Wycombe's half. Playing it in the penalty area with Gerrard. Absolutely agonising. He's in there somewhere, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, lovely threaded ball through here. He makes the strikers run. He's here and it doesn't matter. He's in the position where you think just chip it over the keeper.
The romance is over. Reality returns to the FA Cup. in the shape of a really mouth-watering final. It's Arsenal versus Liverpool, but nobody will ever forget the odds-defying cup run of Lawrie Sanchez's Wycombe Wanderers. Liverpool are going back to Cardiff, and who knows what in this everlasting cup season of theirs. Wycombe are going back to the second division relegation fight. Who knows when or if their paths will ever cross again. But this is another unforgettable chapter in the story of the FA Cup. Emil Heskey for Liverpool, 78 minutes before the breakthrough came. Robbie Fowler added a delicious free kick 4 minutes later, before Keith Ryan there just made us all think and wonder once more. But it's Gerard Houllier's Liverpool who continue to recapture past glories. One of the famous clubs in world football are having a famous season. Martin Taylor defied them for so long. But the final score in this AXA-sponsored FA Cup semi-final at Villa Park is Wycombe Wanderers 1, Liverpool 2.
Well, Liverpool got their scare, but they're into the FA Cup final against Arsenal. Wycombe Wonderful 1, Liverpool 2. Martin Taylor, the man of the match in the Wycombe goal, was superb. And now let's hear from Robbie Fowler.
First Division Birmingham rang you close in the Worthington Cup final. Now Second Division Wycombe gave you some game there, Robbie.
Yeah, it was, to be fair, I mean, to Wycombe, you know, every one of their players has performed magnificent. You know, 2-1 is it's great for us to get to a good final, but you know, Wycombe made us fight till the final whistle.
But you had 2 moments of quality that brought the 2 goals.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Emil, obviously he didn't start the game, but when he came on, he was nice and fresh when he came on. You know, he scored a great header. My free kick, you know, Gary McAllister was wanting Danny Murphy to take it, but
well, he hit it very well.
Yeah, it was.
And Arsenal in the final, and a second possible cup for you.
Hopefully. I mean, we played against Arsenal on numerous occasions over the years, and they've always been very good games. So hopefully the FA Cup final will be as well.
Robbie, well done.
Thank you. They certainly got the potential. This was a super match in the end. It was a great shame for the impartial viewer that Wycombe didn't get their goal when it was 1-0.
Yeah, I think that once they did that, they just dropped a little bit and they cashed in again on it, and they hit them again and sliced them for 2-0.
Let's just reprise the goals and go through them once again.
Yeah, it was the first corner, the ball goes out and it goes into, gets knocked back to Gerard, who it's a beautiful pass. Heskey's on the end of it, he makes no mistake. Both of them weren't on from the start of the game, they're on the subs bench.
We thought he might make a mark, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
That's some free kick. I'd say Gary McAllister can't be a good judge of dead balls if he's wanting Murphy to take that, because it was a great goal. And we're not convinced he hits this one cleanly, but who cares? It's a great headed flick off to McCarthy.
It's under it, isn't it?
He gets underneath it.
Keith Ryan, who played in the FA Trophy semi-final this day 10 years ago.
Unbelievable.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
some story.
Great
some
stuff.
story.
It was some story. They put a great show, and here now is Lawrie Sanchez.
Lawrie, that was a great effort by your side.
They did the best. We did the best we could, and that's all you can ever ask of a team. You know, pleased that we got a goal. Pleased that Rhino scored it. They're a different class. I mean, you got to appreciate that. The penalty, the free kick showed that from Robbie Fowler. Perhaps could have defended Heskey's goal a little bit better, but you know, we're nitpicking here. We came, and for 75 minutes, I thought you know, we were in the game.
Yeah, you certainly were. Now you've got to concentrate on the realities of life and make sure you stay in the second division, which I'm sure you will.
Yeah, we'll get wins on the back of that. It's been a big thing hanging over us, a semi-final. Our level of performance in the league has obviously dropped. Now we've got we can watch the final on TV, so we can get down to concentrating on league games, put this season to bed, and come out stronger next season. And you know, let's get ourselves in the first division next season.
Okay, and the nation would have admired you this afternoon. Thank you very much, Lawrie.
Thank you.
Gary putting the questions. It's still elusive. No team from outside of the top 2 divisions has ever been to the final, but they gave it a great go, didn't they?
They did.
Were you lifted by the match by occasion when
Yeah,
a small
it
team?
was. Yeah, you do. You're always hoping,
Yeah.
especially Liverpool. They have got plenty of cups going for them. You think to yourself, well,
you said right at the beginning they got enough. Didn't
yeah. So you just hope there's always that chance.
Yeah.
You think reality tells you it's not going to happen, but they did better than that because they kept it going, You just didn't feel, with the way they were trying to fill the spaces and keep defensively tight, they couldn't get a threat on Liverpool's goal, and it was, if they're going to score Liverpool, that's it, you know.
Final thoughts from you, Ali?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Wycombe, a wonderful run, and it was half of me wanting them to score 1 minute to go as well to take the extra time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Great entertainment.
Thank you, chaps. Well, I hope you enjoyed it at home as well.